All right, guys, so I just watched Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 2, and it was another solid episode, although in some ways a bit of a retread of the first. That being said, we do get some new perspectives from some of the different characters that we didn't get as much of as in the first episode. And I am excited to finally get into the thrust of the story with Episode 3. So, let's get into it. We learn, or we see from the perspective of Rick Flag, him learning about Rick Flag Jr.'s death. Of course, this is Rick Flag Sr. And interestingly enough, we get scenes of the Suicide Squad and like a flashback thing. Like, it's not even just in the previously on, like we got with the first episode, where they were like establishing DCU continuity. This was like in the middle of the episode. It's like Rick Flag Sr. is reading about he's all sad. He's reading about the Suicide Squad. And then we actually get like fade-ins back to scenes of Rick Flag Jr. dying. So that is, of course, very interesting. I mean, I went into a big spiel about DCU continuity in the last video, but yeah, I mean, I'll just reiterate, as far as my understanding of the DCU continuity, something from the DCEU, like projects from the DCEU do not become canon once they get referenced in the DCU. It is only specific moments that get revealed to also have happened in the DCU. You know, so Rick Flag Jr. was killed by Peacemaker in the DCU. That does not mean that the rest of the Suicide Squad, where Harley Quinn is playing where Margot Robbie is playing Harley Quinn and Idris Elba is playing Bloodsport, and like that is not necessarily confirmed to be canon to the DCU. It is only the fact that at some point in the DCU, Peacemaker killed Rick Flag Jr. So again, I don't want to get too deep into it like I did last week, but I understand it. But I do wonder how the general audience is taking all of this. But yeah, either way, I really like Frank Grillo, and I'm glad that John Cena is making him the glue of the DCU, because so far he's been in every single project. He's been in Creature Commandos and Superman and now Peacemaker. It'll be interesting to see if he, for some reason, shows up in Lanterns, although actually that would fit. And then is he going to show up in Supergirl? That would make less sense. And then I guess he could show up in Clayface. That'll be because he's getting revenge on Peacemaker in this season. Maybe he gets revenge on Clayface in the movie. But yeah, either way, like seeing Frank Grillo. You know, I gotta say this about John Cena as well. Like, I feel like we can now retire the whole conversation of, man, I'm really surprised that John Cena's a good actor, yada, yada, yada. Because it's like, nah, man, I think he just is a good actor. It's not just that James Gunn is able to specifically use him in specific ways, the way that we've talked about Dave Bautista in the past, the way that we've talked about John Cena in the past. I do think that John Cena has kind of reached sort of that Dave Bautista level. Not saying that he's as good of an actor as Dave Bautista yet, but he's just kind of reached that level to where I think he just is a good actor, and he's really showing it in this in this season, where he's giving a bit of a complex performance where you see the pain through his performance, right? You see the regret, you see the longing for companionship and love through his performance, even if it's not explicitly told. So good on John Cena. We also get some more of Adebayo in this episode. We get a little interaction with her and her girlfriend. I'll be honest, this is like one of the weirder ones where maybe it makes more sense if I had Peacemaker Season 1 fresh in my memory, but apparently they're fighting because Adebayo wants to start like some kind of spy agency, but her girlfriend doesn't want to be involved in this world. It just seems weird to me. Like, is that something that Adebayo wants after Peacemaker Season 1? I mean, maybe I would just have to watch Peacemaker Season 1 again, and her character would need to be more fresh in my mind. But I don't know. That just seems like a weird thing to want, for her character to want. Or I guess, I don't know, maybe she wants to be better than her mom. Is that something that was established in the first season? It's possible. The other funny part about this, though, is that her girlfriend is like, we agreed that we were going to move to Gotham. It's like, why do characters in the DCU want to move to fucking Gotham? Okay, so I looked it up, and apparently Peacemaker lives in Washington. Why not stay there? Seems like there aren't fucking mass murderers, or as many like mass murderers, or like Clayface monsters, or crocodile monsters, or Jokers running around. Like, this is why would anybody willingly, voluntarily, consciously move to Gotham? It's a mystery that the world will never know the answer to. We also get some more of Harcourt in this, and she is continuing to not accept any help from anybody, even strangers in a grocery store. I don't know if this scene was supposed to be comedic or not, but I don't know. I found that the whole exchange of the woman thinking that she was like a domestic abuse victim, and Harcourt like the fucking bubbling anger slowly building up. I thought that was kind of funny. I don't know if I was supposed to. I don't know if what that says about me. But regardless, I thought it was a good scene. And yeah, I guess like it feels like they're kind of building up Harcourt to be like the co-lead of this season, because like her arc is like very intertwined with Chris's. So I feel like I mean, I don't know what the official billing is, but it does feel like Harcourt is like the co-lead of this season, and I do like that. I do find her character to also be very compelling. I like how they're both trying to like figure out how to like cope and how to move forward with their lives in ways that are different from what they used to be. So yeah, I'm definitely eager to see how those two arcs play out. I will say they did also introduce this new character. I don't even remember his name. I'm gonna be honest with you. This guy was very hit or miss. He's like this fucking I don't know, like agents that they sent to spy over Economos with. I don't even remember what his official like name was or his official position was, but he was sometimes funny, but then sometimes he was just annoying. Like the worst joke probably in any James Gunn project was that weird like blind bird condition joke where he can't tell the sizes of birds. It's just like, what are we doing here? That was just not funny at all. And it went on for like way too long. Also, well, this was actually a funny scene, but I cannot stand when people put their hands on my shoulders. And it's like, obviously this is a situation where like the guy was trying to like establish his like dominance over Economos or whatever. And so it works in the scene. But I'm just saying it worked a little too well, because even in like social situations where like somebody thinks that they're just like being friendly and they're putting their fucking grubby hands on my shoulders, it's just like, stop! Don't touch people. If you don't know for a fact that they're okay with it, if you don't have like the utmost confidence with them, like I don't like touchy grabby people. Leave me alone. That scene was like actually triggering the fuck out of me. We get more Vigilante in this episode. I think Freddie Stroma is really great in this role. It is interesting that Vigilante is like the character that is like the most loyal, the most there for Peacemaker, and Peacemaker I feel like just doesn't appreciate him enough. I do wonder if that is going to sort of come to a head in this season, where like Peacemaker feels so lonely and so distraught that he's going to like another universe to find companionship. Like, I do wonder if we're going to see Vigilante take some kind of offense to that, because he's just like hardcore. He's like there. He's a bro for Peacemaker. So yeah, I feel like we're going to end up seeing that come to a head. But I will say this as well. I don't know if I actually said this in the first episode, but I am sick generally of multiverse stories, but I feel like this season is doing I feel like this season is doing a good job of exploring the concept in a way that I am more compelled by, where the entire point of the story is Peacemaker looking through a window of another multiverse and seeing the life that he wishes he could have. And like, that is like a compelling way to use the multiverse, where it is about using it to tell a story and not just using it with the excuses of having stupid cameo porn. I mean, there is still time. That could still happen. We could see fucking, I don't know, Henry Cavill or Ben Affleck or whatever show up through a portal in another universe. Probably not in Peacemaker, but now that we have this technology established, I mean that they're obviously setting the stage for that to happen in like the movies at some point. Hopefully they don't. But I mean they probably will. Let's be real. Yeah, we also got this party scene that I thought was very heartwarming. I like seeing the group together again. But yeah, it all kind of builds up to this scene between Harcourt and Chris, where Chris, I mean, it's interesting, right? Because Chris is kind of trying to change from his old way of being, where he was very like aggressive and not in tune with his emotions or whatever, and he was very like loud and bombastic and not even necessarily lashing out at people, but just not letting people in as much. And he's very clearly trying to change, and he's trying to, like, he clearly has feelings for Harcourt, and he's trying to, like, let her in and have her let him in. But Harcourt is very clearly, like, the least or, like, the worst of the two in this situation, where she is very rigid. Doesn't want to let anybody in, and she doesn't even want to make the change to let people in. And she's, like, I mean, well, what is the worst way of letting your emotions out? Is it trying to go to another universe and to be with your fake dad and fake brother, or is it assaulting people in a bar? I don't actually know. I'm not sure I can run the moral calculus on that one. But yeah, I like that they're going on very similar arcs. So we'll see what happens. I'm not actually sure if we're gonna see Harcourt come around and ultimately be with Chris, or if we're gonna see. I feel like the more likely way that this is all gonna end up is Chris is going to get to a place where he's comfortable without having Harcourt, be his girlfriend. I think that he's gonna be more. I think the season is gonna end with him being more comfortable within his own self. Probably, right? I don't know. At least that's what they did in Guardians 3, of course. Oh yeah, I forgot. I didn't get any images, but the other like wacky thing that happened here in this episode was Peacemaker, like he's having to like get rid of his own body. I thought that was a fun, like, gross out, almost The Boys-esque scene. I feel like a lot of the season, I don't know, it kind of just feels like The Boys in some way, not in a bad way. And yeah, obviously Eagly is goated. We see him taking out all those Argus agents. Did we see any action scenes with Eagly in the first season? I can't actually remember. I don't think we did. So that was really cool to see. Of course, James Gunn isn't necessarily beating the get a cute animal in the movie allegations. He did do that in Guardians, and he did do that in Superman, and he is now doing this in Peacemaker. Although I don't think he did it in he didn't do it in the Suicide Squad, did he? Do you count the rats? I don't think you do. But either way, really solid episode. But by the end of it, I was like, okay, let's get into the thrust of the storyline, which is Peacemaker going into this alternate universe. And we are clearly going to go there in the next episode, so not upset or anything, but I am just eager for more. So let me know what you thought in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.